I think the hard choices you make the entire time are the economic choices on spending. There's not a single person who comes into this room that doesn't have a good cause. Well, single person is maybe a bit extreme, but 99% have a good cause, and 100% of the good causes cost money. So in the end, what you're doing is sitting there trying to run, because one of my great ambitions was always to make sure the Labour Party ran a competent economy, which I believe by and large, thanks very much to the brilliance of Gordon, we have done. And part of that is saying, well, I'm afraid there are priorities here, and we can't do everything at once. And we've had to have 2 very tough years of public spending to get rid of the deficit in public finances, and it means on areas like the health service and education, people say, well, you're not putting enough money in. And we've got to say, well, we sort the economy out first, and then we decide the priorities, and we decide it on a fair basis, but those choices are all tough. Welfare choices are really tough, because they affect real people who have real grievances when you change things.
In his time in office, Tony Blair has been a man of many surprises, but perhaps the greatest of all was given to him by his wife.
Sir, how are you? Very well.
Well, she said, I've got some interesting news for you, but suggested that I sit down whilst I hear it. So then she told me.
And how did she
She said,
see your reaction?
Well, I was, I mean, she said it was the only time she'd known the true meaning of the phrase is jaw hit the floor. You know, I mean, it was yes, it was one of those memorable moments, certainly. Because it's just not something you expect. I mean, my youngest kid's almost 12 now. So there was a lot of joy, but if I'm being completely blunt about it, it was a lot of shock as well. I mean, I'm delighted. In fact, I'm really delighted it's going to happen. But you feel almost as if your life's beginning over again.
And then what do you think it will do in terms of you're talking about the pressures of your life as Prime Minister, you know, having a new baby. What will that do?
I don't know. I mean, it obviously takes up some time, but on the other hand, my family is my rock in the end, and it is. I couldn't do this job without my family. So, in a sense, it's. I mean, in a purely selfish way, quite apart from the other things that are important about the family, it is something that gives me not just a lot of joy, but a lot of strength and a lot of normality.
You know?
Mr.
Can you give the...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, certainly.
What are they going to do for the youth at Bethany?
Well, the part of the New Deal is getting jobs and skills for the young people.
Yeah.
You keep that with the kids. Yeah.
Tony Blair likes to quote the line, "We campaign in poetry, we govern in prose." For most of his 1,000 days, his luck has held. But there are inherent dangers in the way that he presents himself as being the personal embodiment of the government. For if the public come to believe that he has failed to deliver, there'll only be one head they'll want on their platter, that of the People's Prime Minister.